Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. I lost my voice last week, so that's one reason I'm behind it. So I'm still a little gravelly, still a little rough. Anyway, so I know you know how this works, but I like to remind people this is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit because he's not going to give me all the details. And sometimes, anyway, um, if something doesn't make sense now, keep it in mind because you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, I know what he's talking about. So even before I started, he was saying, the day I left times two. The day I left times two. So I don't know if you guys had broken up before he left or so. Excuse me. And if that's the case, it hurts equally as much, almost equally as much as being, good grief, I'm muttering, being left like 2 times, breaking up 2 times, leaving you 2 times. If it's just about him leaving and it caused the breakup because he was here no longer, does that make sense? Because I don't know, I've never felt it this way before. Then it's may have to pause this. Still having trouble with my throat, sorry. Then it's like he left, but he broke up with you. It's like double whammy. Double whammy. It's like you lost him in 2 different ways. You lost him 2 different times. So whichever way that works out for you, I can't tell absolutely for sure. But it just makes it a double whammy kind of thing. So I felt, okay. So I felt the need to pull a card, and this is from him to you. What you need to release about all of this. Surrender the habit of people pleasing, speak your needs, and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. So he says you need to quit being a people pleaser and worry about your needs as far as losing him, as far as the relationship with him. You worry about your needs and quit trying to please everybody else and fit into their box like, how do I want to say this? Like, well, they think you shouldn't think about him anymore. You shouldn't talk about him anymore. There's not things about your relationship with him that you need to heal anymore because he's gone and it's done and over with. Bullshit. Do what you feel like you need to do. Don't be worrying about pleasing those other people and fitting into their timeline. If you're still upset over him leaving, don't worry about what they think. Worry about you and fixing what you need to heal in you and being okay with the times that he left. And the other one is the longing eats away at my heart. So, like I said, you worry about you, not pleasing everybody else. He says, I love you. I know I didn't treat you right. I didn't treat you as well as I should have. He says you need to be good to yourself. That you're a good person. That you get a little grouchy with others, you get short with them, but you're more grouchy with yourself. There's still things about the relationship that you're holding on to and blaming yourself for. And he says you need to find a way to let that go. Because it's only hurting you. It's only damaging you. But what did you learn from it? What did you learn that you don't want to repeat the next time? What did you learn? There's there's things about the way things went between the two of you that you need to reflect on, to learn from, but not hold on to like, oh, I'm pissed at myself for doing that, or saying that, or not acting in a different way. Something along that line. I don't know why my ears are itching so much. Both my ears are just itching like crazy. So watch for that. You know about signs and all that stuff, I think. So if your ears get to really, and mine, it's just itching on the outside. Of course, their energy makes me itch, but not my ears. It's always my head. So I don't know what that's all about. So no, if your ears just start itching, that'll be a sign from him. I ask him for something unique, something different, instead of the normal feathers and cardinals and all that stuff. So that's one of yours from him. And it could be just that's the way the energy affects you, because I never know how their energy is going to affect somebody else. I know how it affects me. It's not going to be the same for everybody. So anyway, when your ears start itching like crazy, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. He's coming into your house like creeping quietly. He's not letting you know too much that he's there. He's just kind of sneaking in, checking on you, sneaking back out. Let him know it's okay. If it's your free will choice, is it okay if he pops in your house and says, "Hey, how you doing?" Tell him. I promise you 1,000% he can hear you, he can see you. So let him know it's okay. I've seen lots of them, like they stand off in a corner and just kind of go, okay, just checking on the daughter, because they don't think it will be okay for them to step forward or let them know they're around. They don't want to scare them, number one. They don't know if they're welcome, number two. Not sure if that person's going to believe the stuff. So there's all kinds of reasons why they don't step forward. Some of them come in with a bang and they're making noise and moving stuff and throwing. Well, most of them don't throw things, but they might knock something off a counter or something. So just so you know that, give him permission if you want to. It's your free will choice. He's talking about the smell of lavender or lilacs or something along that sweet smelling line. He says he wants you to know that's not him, that's Grandma. Now, I always tell people, the little lady next door can feel more like your grandma than your real blood grandmother clear across the country that you talk to once a year. So just keep that in mind. I know it sounds a little vague, but that's the way it works. So he's letting you know that that smell is this grandma type figure. He says you're being wishy-washy about something. You're being wishy-washy. He's tapping me on the shoulder going, I am too. He said, you are too, Rhonda. You are too. He says you're being wishy-washy about something. You're not quite ready to make up your mind, but you're going to make up your mind. And it'll be the right choice. Be for the right reason. The right one. And he's nodding his head. Wow, I feel really in a fog. But I felt like I needed to get my sage. Usually I sage before I start doing anything. I sage my area. And I've had people do this during my readings. And they go, holy shit, Rhonda, your energy is wow. Oh, scary. Wow. And I go, what the hell is wrong with me? That's not what this is. I don't want to freak you out. For some reason, I felt like I needed to do it for both of us during this. That never happens. But I just in case you get that idea, because it's happened to me a couple times lately, my energy will be way messed up. And it's so bad that they go, holy shit, I'm going to light the sage, Rhonda. What the hell you got going on there? It wasn't anything evil. It was just, yeah, live in my head for a day. Anyway, enough about that. So take the sage, take the sage, take the sage. We're going to sage everything. And you need to do this once in a while. So when you go working on these things, regrets, or whatever it is that you're holding on to with him, that he said you need to let go of, light some sage and let it go with the smoke. Let it go with the smoke. Make sure you open a door or window. I don't know that I believe that the negative energy and the spirits can't get out if you don't open it. How's shit get in there? But people have been doing this for years and years and years, know more than I do. So anyway, crack a window, crack a door, and imagine that smoke going on out there. Let those things that he says you need to release go with it. Okay, so there's a job you're working at, and when I say job, I always tell people it doesn't have to be a 9 to 5, paid Monday through Friday paycheck, paper paycheck job. And whatever your job is, you've got your head down, and it's like you're looking at your work on your desk, but you're just looking at it. You're just looking at it, like blanking off, staring at it. Like you want to sigh, ho hum. He says, go find something else. It's not fulfilling you. You're bored. It doesn't create mastery. Sound like he said mastery. It doesn't create fulfillment. It doesn't challenge you. It doesn't light your spark. He just says it doesn't fulfill you. He could be a very good guide for you. He seems to know you pretty well. So whatever he was good at here, as far as helping you, I always tell people, if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in, don't ask Uncle Joe for financial advice from up there because he didn't understand how it worked here. So ask him to help you with something that he was good at. My brain is in such a fog and the sage didn't help. So, but you have to ask, and then you have to allow for whatever comes forward. You'll bump into somebody at the grocery store and they'll go, hey, we got an opening in our place, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you apply for it? One of those kind of things. Yeah. So they cannot override your free will choice. If they can bring you that person, they can bring you that opportunity, and you can go, nope, nah, I don't think so. I think I'll just stay where I'm at, sit in a rut. Because you're comfortable in that rut. You feel safe in that rut. I hope my words are coming out. I feel a little more gravelly. R-U-T, rut. And he says you need to go find that place where you can, and he's showing like a picture with a lot of colors, painting like with a lot of colors like this. I don't know that he means you need to go paint something, but it's like that is so much more colorful, so much more bright, so much more wild. But it's kind of out there in front of you, so you need to go find it. He said he'll go with you. He'll even hold your hand along the way. So you could try holding your hand out. Hold your hand out. Just lay it there, relax it. And ask him to hold your hand. Or in this case, he's showing both of you standing up and walking towards this painting. You could stand up, hold your hand out very loosely, and ask him to hold your hand. It might take a little bit. It might take 10 times, and eventually you'll feel a warmth, a pressure in your hand. Sometimes when I do my walks by the river and I ask Bob to walk with me, hold my hand, I actually feel like he's actually holding my hand. But we don't have these fingers anymore, so I think you understand how that's probably going to feel. And like I said, I don't know exactly how you're going to feel it, because you'll feel it different than I do. Why is he saying only your hairdresser knows for sure? You've been changing the color of your hair? Or maybe you need to change the color of your hair. He's laughing. He's laughing hysterically. Do whatever makes you feel good. He says, within reason. He says, do it. If you want to put some pink or purple in your hair, do it. Do it. Just freaking do it. You have people around you that love you very much. But he says you kind of feel like an island of your own, like you are this island. Let's see where he's going with this. You've got your hand out. You've got your hand out to somebody that keeps getting in your bubble. And their energy is too strong. So you're holding them back at arm's length, which is a good thing. That is a very good thing. If you got that, I'm not going to say it's a negative energy. It's more like a pushy, overbearing energy. I think you probably know about protection bubbles. Keep that protection bubble up and keep them at arm's length. Doesn't mean you don't interact with them. Doesn't mean you don't love them. Doesn't mean you can't go places with them and do things with them, but you're not letting them. Have you ever had that person, their energy so strong that you kind of lean the other way? It's like, whoa, back up a little bit. Whoa. That kind of thing. It doesn't mean you have to cut them out of your life. It just means, whoa, you need to step back. You're in my space. Stay in your bubble. He says, stay in your bubble. He says, don't make your bubble so strong, though, that others can't get through to you, because you're going to be very lonely eventually if you do that. Just make your bubble strong enough with the intention of, back up out of my bubble. You're too strong. You're taking over my energy. Oh, and as far as this painting and the thing you're supposed to go towards, write it down. Don't write a big, long freaking letter, because all the in-between stuff between now and whatever that is, kind of leave it up to them. They know the best. You can't believe the things that have happened between there that I go, whoa, I would have never thought of that. That's even better. So kind of leave the. You still have to take the steps forward. If one approaches you, you have to move towards it, but let them bring the steps, and then you decide if you want to take that step, and then the next one, and then the next one. But write it down. Just one little line. I want blah, blah, blah. Put it on your fridge, put it on your mirror, or just keep it in here, however you want to do it. But I find that writing it down, okay, I'll sit here and I'll go, okay, I kind of want a black car. No, I want a white car. No, I want a purple car. And my mind just keeps flipping around. If you write it down, then your guides know, and he's going to help. He's going to be giving permission to be one of your guides. That way they know when you write it down, this is what we're going to go towards, not whatever's flipping around in here. That's the way my mind works. He says you're very crafty, and he doesn't mean crafty like sly like a fox. Like he means crafty like if you put a vase of flowers somewhere, it just looks right. If you make something, it just looks cute. That kind of crafty. You have a knack for some of that stuff. He said he does come in and sit on your couch. He kicks back, puts his arm back on the back, all lean back, comfy, relaxed. And he does observe. But I don't feel like, and probably the itching on the ears, when they get real close to me, my head starts itching like I have head lice. Not the rest of me, just my head. Don't know why. So that part, that's probably you feeling his energy when he does sit on the couch or whatever. So take that as a sign that he's there. And ask him to bring you some more signs. Give him permission. Tell him it's okay. He says he doesn't feel like he should be interfering in your life, but it's not really interfering unless you let him in some way. So let him know that. Talk to him. Promise you 1,000% he can hear you. He says, I wasn't good for you, but you were good for me. That really wasn't a fair trade. I was kind of aloof. A-L-O-O-F. I think that's how you spell it. He's also suggesting some tourmaline as far as this person that's pushing their energy too strong on you. You could hold that out there. It's not a mean thing to do. You can love them all you want to. It doesn't mean you want them in your face. Too strong. Even though he showed himself kicked back on the couch, now he's showing himself like outside the door, and he's knocking on the door. So he's asking you to open the door and let him in. That's totally up to you. Free will choice. You might even hear some tapping on the door. That's your free will choice. So he's even visualizing it to me. He's definitely not harmful. Okay, so I don't know if you have acid or stomach troubles or something. I know I do a lot. Okay. Have you ever heard of drinking aloe? I didn't until recently. And I've got this big ass jug that I bought at Walmart. And my Reiki Master Healer advised that I drink, I think it's like a fourth of a cup twice a week, but I see people drink it all the time. It soothes all that in there, and it's really good for you, and actually it's pretty tasty. They also suggested that I drink it like a tablespoon of vinegar once a day too. Yeah, that's not working so well for me. You could try it if you want to. Put it in a little bit of water, because I tried it straight. Holy crap, I about went to the floor. I told my grandson to do it first. He about went to the floor. The vinegar and then the aloe will soothe it. So he's suggesting you try some of that. Now, I never give medical advice or anything, but the aloe's not going to hurt. Aloe's good for you, but I just never heard of drinking it. Didn't know there was such a thing. Found it in Walmart. It's very common. So he's thinking you could use that for upset tummy, or maybe got some acid going on there or something. I don't know. I don't do medical stuff other than energy healing. That's his advice. He's saying that he knows that sometimes you open your phone and you go to pictures of him. And you may have a picture of him around that you look at a lot. And I don't know that I really feel that you have an actual picture right out in public in your house. It's kind of like you don't want other people to know. It's, I'm going to say it's your secret, but it's not really a secret, but it's, you just don't want other people to know. It's none of their business that you still think about him, that you still love him. He says people are only here for a certain amount of time. That's just the way it's made. Just the way it's made. So he said it's got, his leaving has nothing to do with you. Nothing at all to do with you. It's just the way it was supposed to be. And we see things so different when we get up there. So different. It's like I always tell people, you can sit on your kitchen floor and you could look around at everything in the room. And then you can get up and stand on the kitchen counter and you can look around. And it's a whole different perspective. And don't look on top of the fridge because there's a lot of dirt on mine. I don't even want to get up there and look. So it's a whole different perspective when you get up there and you look back and you go, wow, why did I do that? Why did that happen? Oh, now I know why that happened. He loves you very much. He's holding his hand out again. He wants to help you if you will accept his help. Once again, you have to ask, cannot override your free will choice, and then you have to allow for whatever comes forward as far as help from him. And again, your free will choice, you can say no. They can bring you the most gorgeous, richest man in the world, and you can pick the guy that drives a trash truck. But we got to have people drive trash trucks too, and build roads, and build houses. It's not all about the guy behind the desk with a suit and tie on. Some things are more important. I love you, dear, and know that I'm looking out for you. I don't know that he's really given a lot of I've had trouble getting him to give validations lately. It's like I ask them for at least 2 or 3 positive things so you know for sure we're talking to him. I don't know that he's actually done that. He's not. I think you're just going to have to trust that it's him. I don't know why they've been slacking off on it lately. So, give him permission to come in. That's going to be your first step. And writing down whatever it is, that painting, that wild colors you want to go towards, write it down. So, he's more here as a guide to give you advice and to help you and hold your hand along the way if you want him to. That's totally up to you. With that, he's going to leave. I felt like he was going to say something else. He says, as he's walking off, he says, I'll be around if you want me to. I won't force myself on you. And with that, he left. Okay, thank you for being patient while I had my laryngitis. My family was happy about it. And my friends, they kept poking on me. Haha, you can't talk. But I have fingers. I can show you how I feel. Much love to you, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones,